Hello and welcome. My name is Kate, and I'm so glad that you decided to join me today for this Heart Opening Yin class. For class today, you'll need 2 blocks, a bolster, and a blanket. So go grab your props and then come meet me on your mat in a comfortable, easy seated position. Once you're in a seated position, close your eyes and bring your hands to rest gently on your thighs. Take a full breath in through your nose. Exhale and sigh out your mouth. Let's do 2 more just like that. Breathe in through your nose. Out through your mouth, exhale. 1 more breath in through your nose. Exhale, sigh it out your mouth. And now welcome yourself into the present moment as you arrive fully on your mat. Take a moment to call to mind any thoughts that are buzzing around. Just give them your full attention. And then make the conscious choice to set them aside for the remainder of your practice. And know that anything that needs your attention will be waiting for you when you're done. Allow this practice to serve as a way for you to reconnect, to find balance, and to nourish yourself from the inside out. On your next inhale, bring your palms to touch in prayer at the center of your chest. Bow your head to your heart. Set an intention for your practice today. Whatever it is that you need in this moment, let this practice serve that purpose. Take a full deep breath in and a full deep breath out. And from here, we'll begin. Release your hands down onto your thighs and crack open your eyes. Okay. I'm going to start today in a lung bench. So you'll reach for both of your blocks, bring them on the medium height, long ways. The bottom block is going to snuggle with the bottom edge right underneath your shoulder blades so that the block is fully supporting the lift in your chest. And then you'll take the top block and use it as a rest for your head. With your legs, you have a couple of options. You can choose to take your feet wide and bring your knees in towards center, just allowing the weight of your legs to support each other. Or maybe you extend your legs out long and just fully release them wherever they land. You can start with your hands gently resting by your sides, allowing your shoulders to roll open so that there's a spreading across your collarbones. Then if you'd like to work into a deeper opening in the shoulders, you'll take your arms over your head and clasp for opposite elbows. Stretch your arms back behind you and allow that top block to catch your upper arms so that you're fully opening through the side body and the shoulders. This can become quite intense as you hold it for a few breaths. So always give yourself permission to back out of it if needed. Close your eyes. And start to focus on bringing a quality of evenness to your inhales and your exhales. How deeply can you breathe in? And how deeply can you breathe out? We spend so much of our modern lives in positions that close off the heart. Rounded forward, working on our computers, texting, sitting in cars, on our couches. And the tightening of those muscles in towards the heart means that we don't put as much focus on cultivating space in that area. And when we allow a sense of spaciousness to fill the area around our hearts, it helps us to cultivate feelings of freedom and joy, happiness and hope. The practice of yin can move us slowly and safely back into that direction in a way that allows the body and the mind to adjust. If you have opposite arms over your head, just switch to bring your other elbow on top. And just notice the difference here between two sides. Breathe in. And breathe out. Where can you let go and open more? Take another full breath in and a full breath out. If your arms are over your head, slowly release them down by your sides. If your legs are extended, bend your knees and take your feet to the floor. And use your palms and your forearms to help you lead with your heart as you lift yourself up off of your blocks and find a gentle seated position in any way that feels comfortable for you. Give the heart, chest a moment to settle from all of that opening. Maybe feeling the imprint of the block against your shoulders. Good. And then crack your eyes open. And we'll prepare for our next pose. Okay. So now we're going to take the blocks. I'm going to keep them still on the medium setting And set them towards the opposite side of your mat, like two little train tracks almost. You'll line them up towards each other. And then come to all fours with your knees underneath your hips. Place your elbows at the center of your blocks with your palms in prayer. We're going to release the heart down towards the floor as we take the prayer over the head to help open up even more deeply through the sides of the chest and the armpits. Now, this can be a fair amount of sensation. So if it feels like you arrive and it's a little bit too much, then you'll gather the knees in closer and bring your hips towards your heels more like a child's pose. This will still allow you to get an opening in the chest, but it will just decrease the intensity just a bit. You can also reach for your blanket and bring it under the knees if there's any sensitivity there. Okay. Otherwise, hips stay lifted over the knees as you release your chest and head towards the floor. And then everyone work those palms in prayer behind your heart, to bring a stretch across the sides of the chest, the triceps, and into the shoulders. Take a full deep breath in, and a full deep breath out. The physical tension that we build up in the fascia and connective tissue around the heart space can also be as a result of an energetic effort to protect our hearts. To lead your life with an open heart, both physically and energetically, requires an embracing of vulnerability that can be really scary. When we allow ourselves to be open, that means that there's a chance that we could be hurt. This practice can allow us to slowly peel back those layers of protection that we've built up over time. And if you do so guided by your breath, then it allows you to do it in a way that feels safe and supportive for you as a human being. Where can you use your breath to find ease in the body, ease in the mind? Breathing in and breathing out. Take a full deep breath in and a full deep breath out. And slowly extend your palm overhead. Remove your arms from your blocks and just sit yourself back to a child's pose. You can let your forearms, elbows be heavy. Just give your body a moment to adjust here. Then slide your palms under your shoulders and press yourself up to sit. Okay. This next pose, we're going to work on opening the back of the heart space in a slightly different direction. We'll set this up first with props, and then if you decide that you'd like to remove them completely, you certainly can. But otherwise, I think the props help to make it a bit more accessible usually. So you'll take your bolster, slide it about halfway down your mat, and then have your blanket folded in half, and then folded in half again so that you make sort of this short little pillow that will come for the head. And then we'll come to lay on top of the bolster with the edge of the bolster coming just to the base of the breastbone here, like the base of the sternum, so that there's still a fair amount of space here for the upper chest. I'm then going to take my right arm and thread it underneath my left, and the left arm on top of the right. Now, to increase the intensity in this pose, you continue to take the fingertips and pull them in opposite directions, spreading the shoulder blades apart. If that's too much intensity, you can always pull the elbows back in to shorten the distance there of the stretch. But otherwise, you stretch your fingertips apart and then slide that blanket back to become a rest for the head. And you'll breathe here into kind of those wing muscles in the back body, the space between the shoulder blades. And if you take this pose and this doesn't really feel like much to you, you might come off of your bolster and just lay down onto your belly, but take the same positioning with the arms. You could even remove your blanket. That will increase the intensity. But for most of us, it will feel a little more accessible and comfortable to be laying up on a bolster. You can also slide the palms of the hands down an inch or up an inch to really find that space where you feel this in between the shoulders. Good. And then start to settle in and breathe into the back of the heart space. As human beings, we have many layers of emotions. And of course, the kind of standard responses, the cliche emotions, are the ones that we're most familiar with, our habitual way of moving in the world. But it's important to acknowledge our whole hearts, our whole being. Not just the easy ones that often bubble to the surface, but to the more nuanced details that truly make us who we are.
Take a full deep breath in and a full deep breath out. Move slowly. Just lift the head enough that you can slide the arms back. Allow them to rest by your sides and just take a moment before setting up for the other side. This time you'll slide your left arm underneath your right arm. Let your right arm cross on top, and then same thing, stretch your fingertips in opposite directions to increase the intensity, or you can take them closer and widen the elbows to decrease the intensity. And then you might need to move the arms up or down an inch or two on this side. It can be different side to side. To find the space where you feel sensation and the space behind the heart. Breathe in and breathe out. Where can you send your breath to help you to soften just a little bit more? To find just a bit more ease. As you breathe and we hold these yin postures for a bit longer, new waves of emotions and feelings can come up. Oftentimes the experience from when we first enter a pose to when we exit it can feel completely different. Take another full breath in and another full breath out. On your next inhale, slowly begin to lift the head. Bring your elbows underneath your shoulders onto the forearms. Just give yourself a moment. And then just lift yourself off of your bolster, and you can roll your bolster aside. Set your blanket forward and come to lay down on your belly with your palms stacked on top of each other, the top of your head stacked on top of the palms of your hands. Take your arms now all the way out to a T, with your palms facing the floor. Bring your left hand underneath your left shoulder. Roll onto your right side as you bend your left knee and take your left foot behind your back. So the right hand and arm stay as they are, and you're opening now into the whole right side of your chest. You can also choose here to work palm down, or maybe you rotate the palm up. You can also slide the arm up 2 inches, down 2 inches, whatever you need to do to kind of find the place where you can feel the most opening around the heart. With your left arm, you can choose to keep it on the floor. You can lift it over your head and then just place it to your low back for like a little half bind. Or maybe for some of you, you have the flexibility to clasp the fingertips together and hug those shoulder blades towards each other. That pillow for your head can be there as a rest if it would feel better for your neck to be in a straighter sense of alignment. Breathe into the space around your right shoulder and the right side of your chest. Once again, massaging the connective tissue and the fascia in this area that we often find ourselves rounding through. This practice of yin targets the physical body with an approach that invites us to lean into stillness as a way to create space. And just like any yoga practice, the more often that we take the time to show up, the easier it is for us to see the benefits of what we're doing. Take a full deep breath in and a full deep breath out. Move slowly. Take your left hand back in front if it was behind you. Roll to your belly. Bring your arms back out to a T. Just pause and rest. Good, and then place your right hand underneath your right shoulder with your left hand continuing to stay out into a T. And then roll onto your left side, bend your right knee and take it behind you. You can set up using that blanket again as a pillow for the head. And then make the choice for yourself on this side, palm down or palm up. You can raise or lower the arm. Just find that space where you can create a gentle opening in the whole left side of your chest. With your right arm, you can take it up, bring it back to the low back again for that kind of half bind, or maybe you have the flexibility to bring the fingertips to meet in a clasped position.
full breath in and a full breath out. Where can you relax more? Where can you grant yourself permission to find just a bit more ease? Sometimes the key to finding that sense of ease is to allow yourself to sit in the discomfort. Our lives are unfortunately not comfortable 100% of the time. And this practice teaches us how we can rely on our breath to guide us through uncomfortable sensation. Take a full deep breath in and a full deep breath out. On your next inhale, begin to roll back to the belly. Take your arms back out to a T. Pause. And feel fresh circulation moving into the shoulders. Good. And then take your palms underneath your shoulders. Press yourself up to all fours and up to a seated position. Just close your eyes. Taking a full breath in and a full breath out. Good. Okay. For our final pose before Savasana, we're going to help to open up the side body through a twist. So you'll take your bolster on your mat and come to sit with your tailbone at the base of your bolster. Both feet out in front of you. And from here, you'll start by dropping both knees over to the right side. So you have sort of these two 90-degree angles with your legs, and your right hip is now up to the corner or to the edge of your bolster. From here, you're going to lengthen, take a breath in, and then twist so that your chest releases to your bolster, and you can choose to turn your head to whichever side feels most restful and comfortable to you. So there's a gentle hip opener here because of the placement of the legs, but it's really focused on creating length right now in your left side ribs as you take this twist. Close your eyes and release the weight of your body fully into the support of the bolster beneath you. Allow your jaw to soften. Allow your belly to soften. Allow your breath to be full. And as you move towards these final poses in your yin practice today, start to embrace the stillness, the silence, the slowing down. When we give ourselves permission to slow down, it creates space for us to listen to the whispers coming from the universe around us, and the whispers coming from our hearts within us. And when we're able to create that space, it gives us a chance to see if the two are aligned. Are our hearts connecting to the universe in a way that helps us to make choices that support us on our authentic path through life? Breathing in and breathing out. Take a full deep breath in and a full deep breath out. Move slowly, maybe allowing your head to be the last thing to rise. And press yourself up off of your bolster. Rotate so that your knees are facing back up towards the ceiling. And then drop your knees to the other side. Again, maintaining kind of that 90-degree positioning with the legs so that your left hip is up against your bolster. You'll take a breath in, allow your chest to lengthen, and then twist. Release your belly and your chest over your bolster and your head to the other side. And breathe now from your right hip all the way up through your right side ribs. Allow the weight of your body to feel fully supported by your props beneath you. What does it feel like to be settled in with your breath? Can you allow an imprint of this calm, connected state to stay in your consciousness, so that it can be used whenever it is that you need to call on it? Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Let every breath feel like a gentle hug to your soul, a reminder that it's safe for you to let go. Take another full inhale and full exhale. Try to maintain this sense of quiet and stillness as you ease your way back up off of your bolster. Slide both knees to face back up towards the ceiling, or find a comfortable seat and just pause. Breathe. Allow the benefits of that pose to settle into the systems of your body. Then And you can set your bolster aside. Come to lay down on your back. Keep your knees bent with your feet on the floor. And we'll take a look at one final pose before moving into Savasana, final relaxation. You'll reach for one block. Lift your hips up just enough that you can slide the block underneath your sacrum, supporting your hips in this supported bridge pose. You can choose to let your hands rest on your belly or maybe down by your sides. Feel your shoulder blades gather together underneath you. And then with your legs, you have the option of keeping them as they are, or if it's okay on your low back, you can extend your legs out long in front of you to feel a full opening across the entire front of your body. And if this ends up feeling constricting or painful in your low back, rebend the knees. As you inhale, imagine a feeling of lightness moving across the entire front of your being, as if you could float an inch higher towards the sky. And as you exhale, feel a sense of heaviness across your entire back body, as if you could move 1 inch closer to the earth. Your inhale and your exhale illustrate the perfect balance that exists, the harmony that can exist. Not only within ourselves, but also in the entire world that surrounds us. Light, dark, light and heavy. Inhale, exhale. Just stay and breathe here for a few more breaths, not holding this one for terribly long. Take another full breath in and a full breath out. If your legs are extended, rebend your knees, take your feet to the floor. And then lift your hips up just enough to remove your block and set it aside. And set yourself up for Savasana. You have your props near you, so anything that would feel particularly restful for you, maybe a blanket under the head, your bolster under your knees or across your hips can feel really nice and grounding. Choose the setup that you're being called to. And then once you land, allow your hands to fall by your sides as you close your eyes. Take a full breath in through your nose. Exhale and sigh out your mouth. Imagine that your inhale could enter through the crown of your head, and your exhale could exit out the soles of your feet. So that with every breath, you're being filled and emptied completely, breathing from top to bottom, moving further and further into relaxation. Take a full deep breath in and a full deep breath out. Of course, if you have more time and desire to stay, I encourage you to do so. Otherwise, gently wiggle your fingers and your toes. Rock your head from side to side. When you're ready, roll to one side. Bring your knees towards your chest. And lift yourself all the way back up to a comfortable, easy seated position. Once again, bring your hands to rest gently on your thighs. Inhale fully and exhale completely. Bring your palms to touch in prayer at the center of your chest. Bow your head down to your heart. Recall the intention you set at the start of your practice and thank yourself for finding the time to come to your mat, to open your heart, and honor your intention. And I thank you so very much for sharing your energy and your practice today. Taking one more breath in and a final breath out. Release your hands down, crack your eyes open. Thank you so very much for joining me for class today. I hope to see you again soon.